Beautiful people of the Bay, it is We, the People, Real Estate Podcast here with your hosts, Carlos Rojas, Frank the Bank, and Brad
Dement.
Dement. I almost said Brad Pitt.
I'm like, come on, man. Act like you know me. We know each other.
Hey, we'll get it right.
We've made it, Carlos.
That's a good comparison.
We've made it. We finally made it.
Yeah, we got it, man. Brad Dement.
How you doing, guys? Hey, today we're going to go over rates, as always. We also got the presidential debate tonight, which is huge. It's huge. And we're going to have, we're going to go over everything about this, you know, the rules, who the moderators are. We got a comment from Robert Kennedy on the debate since he wasn't invited. We also got, why do we have taxes? You know, it's a good question, right? Why do we have taxes?
Question.
Get into the into the queer fact club. I almost said the wrong word again.
What?
The queer fact. You know how to get into the queer fact club?
I guess I got to start by getting fat.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Turns out there's
club.
only one president in the United States that does not have descendants of that is not a descendant of slave owners.
Who?
We're gonna find out.
Oh, I want to know.
Today in the With the People Real Estate Podcast. Let's go.
It's Biden.
What's going on, everybody? This is We the People, a real estate podcast. Let's begin. All right, everybody, welcome again. And now let's get right into the rates. We went up a little bit from last week.
Yes, we did.
Okay, so 7.5%. It's okay.
It's all right.
It's basically the same thing that's been happening all year. It's like, you know, here
Up,
you go.
down,
we're going to
up,
go
down.
down. No, we're not. No. Yeah, we are. No, we're not.
So here's the good news, guys. 30-year fixed. That is, Carlos pulls up Google. He says 30-year fixed mortgage rates. It tells you 7.532. Lies, all lies. I hate to say it.
Day.
It's just stupid because what they're advertising are the retail rates right now. That's like what Wells Fargo and Bank of America are going to give you. You guys don't have to work with Lincoln Lending Group and Frank the Bank, but obviously I would encourage you, and this is why. Wholesale mortgage rates at a wholesale mortgage lender, wholesale mortgage broker are almost a point lower than that. So what do you guys think would happen if the news media advertised that conventional rates were 6.75 and government FHA and VA were 5.75?
Yeah, we'll probably have a few more people.
People would be buying. They'd be going crazy. So please take our word for it. Check out a wholesale mortgage company like Lincoln Lending Group or 813mortgage.com. Contact frankthebank.com, and you will see what the real rates are. Unfortunately, these are lies, and you can get a way better deal.
That's right. Like Frank always says, you know, the people that make certain things happen got to charge you a little bit more on rates. He doesn't. So come check out Lincoln Lending here for a better rate for sure. At least a whole %. Right?
You're right. I will save you a point. I'll beat any written estimate you send me.
Frank, quick question. So how is business right now for this month? Is it, you know,
Carlos, I would say I will say the word good.
Okay.
Last month I'd say okay to good. Before that, fair. I'm feeling more people are getting in. People are buying.
You got more applications. There was a report that came out that more applications were happening last week.
That is not fake news. That is 100% true.
Okay.
There are more applications. We had a great, I judge it by applications and payroll, right? 2 weeks ago, our payroll was very, very strong, what that told me was the previous month was very strong.
Yeah.
Applications definitely up. Summer is the buying time. People are going on a lot of vacations right now, but they're also moving. So I'm going to leave our listeners with this. Guys, when the Fed announces rates are going down, which is going to happen at some point before this election, everybody and their mothers is going to get into the market. Yep. And when they do, I just did a class yesterday with 20 realtors, and I asked them, what do you think is going to happen when rates are announced that they go down?
Yeah.
People are going to come out of the woodworks and buy. Yeah. What's going to happen to prices, Carlos?
They're going to go up. They should go up.
They're going to go up.
So
right?
I got a couple of reports here to debate a little bit of what you just said right now.
Please.
So the first one is Fed's Bowman don't see any rate cuts for 2024. What do you think about that? First off, who the heck is Bowman? Is that
he's one of the Fed chairmen.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So what do you think about this? This came from Florida Realtor Association.
I don't know where did this come from. Let's see. Federal Reserve.
It did. I'm telling you where it came from, where I got it from. So what do you think about this in terms of that news announcement? You think that really 2024 they're not going to come down again like that?
They're saying because of inflation, they originally predicted like 6 rate cuts. Then they were going back to like 2. Now they're saying 1. I would bet my car that the Fed cuts rates at least once before the election. Why? Because it's an election.
Yeah.
So right now, if they're saying that inflation is out of control, right, and they're blaming Biden and blaming the administration, the only thing that's going to make him look good is if he can say that inflation is under control.
Yeah.
And then cuts the rate. So whether it's real or not, if I'm Joe Biden and his team, I'm going to make sure the Fed cuts the rates at least once. And what we now think is they're going to wait. That was nice. They now think they're going to wait until right before the election because they want to have the biggest impact. They don't want people to be able to argue with it. And if they cut them now, they have to keep cutting them until the election. So that's what we're seeing. They're going to wait to do it.
Okay.
But it's going to happen one way or the other.
What do you think happens to rates if Biden wins versus if Trump wins? And just tell me exactly what you think the scenarios will look like in that situation. I know that opens a whole book, but just if you could summarize what you think.
I'll give it in 30 seconds. If Biden wins, we're in deep shit. And this is why. Because if you look at what his policies have been over the last 3.5 years, right? Most people agree that it has not been good for the everyday American. It has not been good for our economy, right? If he wins, there will be no motivation to change that. They have not cared, and the dude wants to get reelected, and they haven't cared.
Right.
So if he wins, I'm scared.
It's like voting for the same things that got us here. Why would we keep going?
Why would he change? You know, he's going to keep doing what he's doing, which basically nobody agrees with. If Trump wins, well, first of all, look what happened last time. Deregulation, big business, big corporations were bringing businesses out of foreign countries back to America that have never been here for 20 years. That is going to rip our economy. I mean, Biden, on purpose, his administration slowed the economy because of inflation. Whoever thinks that's a good idea? Ooh, somebody liked that. Slowed the economy. Like, why do you slow an economy?
I don't know. I saw a report today. So did you hear about California? They removed all the gas stuff, you know, trying to improve
the gas taxes or whatever?
No, they removed the gas cars, gasoline cars. To not all of them, but a lot of them, you know, with the new laws and everything to make sure we get plenty of electric cars. And now what's going on is that the gas stations are losing a lot of business and they're not being able to tax on gas as they used to. So they're trying to charge everybody that has an electric vehicle 30 cents a gallon right now. I mean, a mile right now. And how do you cheat on that? Like, how do you even like not report the right mileage? Like the car will communicate to the government.
Miles? You're talking about miles driven?
Yes. As you drive, the government of California is trying to pass a law right now that they'll charge you 30 cents a mile.
And that's why everybody's moving out of California.
It's crazy. It's absurd.
That is absurd.
Yeah, I mean, that is crazy.
But doesn't California want electric vehicles?
I thought they would, but so they're doing that for electric vehicles.
Exactly. It's because they're not making money with the gasoline anymore. So
just tax it.
They're trying to get it somewhere else. The other thing that I saw is I saw a whole plant of electric cars that were getting charged, being boosted by.
Oh my God, a diesel generator.
Yes,
I saw that too.
What are we doing? Are we crazy?
Yes.
Like this is the kind of stuff that we will look back into and say, what's going on here?
Somebody said the other day that there's going to be a documentary in like 20 years talking about these 5 years and what have we done to ourselves.
Yeah.
Brad, what do you think?
You know, it's funny. I actually heard somebody talk about how when we go into the future and we talk about the history, it's going to be so hard to explain the last 5 years, right? I mean, how do you even explain this, right? Like, what are they going to put in the history books about this last election and the current election and Trump and Biden and everything going on, right?
But they'll probably censor it.
Yeah. Well, hey, we have to make sure that we're sharing the truth because we live this, right? Yeah. We are living history right now. Yeah. Oh, and it is interesting. It's definitely interesting what's going on.
Did you know this is the first time in our history that a previous sitting president is debating a current president? This is the first time this has ever happened.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I can't believe in our history that's never happened.
There's a few first coming around. This is the first time a president has been arrested.
Yeah,
for the United States.
First time an election was stolen.
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
sorry,
whatever you can pull out of your hat, your magical hat, will make it work, right? All right, so let's get right into the debate here. So, guys, we got Trump versus Biden tonight.
Oh boy.
Let's get ready to mumble.
Let's go. So they're saying that we had Charlemagne the God. You guys know who this is?
Yeah.
I don't know why he calls himself the God, but anyways, he said that this is gonna be a comedy show for Trump. It's gonna be the most authentic and amazing comedy show of the year for all of comedy.
I can't wait.
So let's get into the rules. The rules are, they're a little bit...
They're different.
Yeah. So no audience. So that, obviously kind of, I think the first time we saw this was with Newsom and DeSantis, right?
Yep.
There's no audience. I kind of like the no audience situation. You can't have.
It's not me.
I think that's me. You can ignore it.
Sorry.
I think so there's no audience, which I think is a good thing because the audience sometimes kind of like takes it to one place and
Right. Well, then what if you have like certain people skewed on the? Plus, this is a CNN debate.
Right.
If they had an audience, it'd probably be CNN guys.
right. So at the end of the day, I think this helps us. Republicans.
It's gonna help Trump
the most. Yeah, I think it helps Trump for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got 2 minutes to answer questions, 1 minute to respond. As soon as your question, as soon as you answer the question, the 2 minutes are up. You're gonna get a yellow light on the cameras, then a red light, a yellow light at 15 seconds, a red light at 5 seconds, and once it gets to 0, your
No
mic,
light.
your mic is gonna be turned off.
Yeah.
So the other person can respond, and your mic will be turned off. I think strategically, like they need to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
Do you think that helps Trump more than Biden?
What do you think?
I think Trump will be prepared more than Biden. I mean, I think that Biden's going to have something in his ear telling him what to do.
Or what to
but
say.
I think
They're
that-
not supposed to. That's not allowed.
Yeah.
I read there's no communication devices.
See, and hopefully that's
It'll
true.
be it's already in his brain.
Hopefully that's true.
Yeah. But I think that Trump will be more prepared. I think that, I think they both will be. I think Biden will be prepared too. I'm not saying that Biden's going to go in there and not.
He's been in a hangar for a week preparing.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I'm not saying I think they're both going to be prepared, but I think that Trump is going to know what to say. I think he'll end a lot of these times a lot better, is what I think. I think he'll say things that, will kind of make you think and he just does what Trump does, right? And
Correct.
Get the, I think he's going to already has a plan of exactly what he's going to say. Do they know the questions ahead of time or no?
do they
you
know?
if
I don't
know?
think they do. Do
No.
they? No.
Yeah. So,
Well, Biden does.
Wait. We don't know. We
don't
don't know
know.
if
I
they
guess
do
we
or
don't know.
not.
I just didn't know if that was in the rules or
I
anything.
know who
No,
knows.
they're not. This is exactly the rules. What I just told you guys right now.
So here's what I think.
Yeah.
He's right. Right. Biden is going to be prepared. I think Biden is going to be canned, and Trump is going to be natural.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think when Biden, he's going to prepare for the 2 minutes and for the 1 minute, 100%. He's going to be like pretty much Johnny on the spot and is going to stop, and it's going to be fake. I think people are going to see through it. People are going to see,
I think so too.
basically like a memorized statement where Trump's going to hear what it says and Trump's going to do what he does.
Okay. So we think that it's gonna be like the last debate in 2020 or better for Trump.
I think it'd be better for Trump because of what Frank just said. Because I think that people are going to see right through Biden, and Trump just comes off more authentic and natural. So I think that, and last time, I mean, obviously one of the reasons why they're muting the mics is because they kept interrupting each other.
Right.
Right.
I like the muting the mic thing.
I
What
think
I don't
it's
like,
fine.
what I
Yeah.
don't like is the 2 minutes. Like, give each person like maybe 4 minutes at least to answer the question. Some of these questions are so big, and you got to explain so many things. I think 2 minutes is not enough. I like the podcast idea more, but obviously you put them both in a podcast, they're just gonna be yelling at each other.
That'd be awesome.
So
It would be fun, but
kind of, but I do want the muted mic so that I
Yeah.
can hear the whole point from one person and then the whole point from somebody else. I like to hear that instead of going so much back and forth where I can't concentrate and they're just yapping or
Yeah,
something.
I agree with you on that. What I would like to see, and I think this would be a simple change: 2 minutes answer, 2 minutes response. Because when one guy gives an answer, he may open up a can of worms on the other guy, and then you're giving him 60 seconds to come back to that.
Yeah.
That seems tough.
Yeah.
That does. But we'll find out.
I think Trump's going to handle it well, and I think he's going to be funny. I think that he's going to really show people that Biden is all scripted and he's not, this is all, I really think that Trump is going to show tonight that he is going to be the winner. And I think that most of America is going to see that. I also have another prediction of what's going to happen after tonight, is I think that the Democrats are going to pull Biden as the candidate and bring a new candidate out after this debate.
You think that's gonna happen right after?
I don't think
the
it's going to
debate?
happen right after tonight, but I think that they have until August. I forget what date in August they have, but they have until August to change candidates.
That's very interesting.
I don't think that Biden is going to be the one running against Trump in November.
See, that scares the shit out of me, but what he just said has a lot of validity to it. I had on my radio show, the Biz Happy Hour, Ryan Gorman on Tuesday, who is the voice of politics nationally for iHeartRadio.
Okay.
Right? And I asked him that exact question, and he goes, Frank, this is the first time in history they've had a debate this early prior to the conventions. And I go, well, why? What do you think? He goes, because they're giving time in case Biden totally bombs that they can swap him.
Wow.
And honestly, that would scare me because people know what they have in Biden and what they don't have. But if they swapped him, let's say for like a Gavin Newsom or something like that, people don't know him. And people might see a young, vibrant, well-spoken person and be like, oh, well, I don't like Trump, but I'm going for this guy. Yeah, I wouldn't have gone for Biden, but I will go for this guy. It kind of scares me because it ain't going to be Kamala. I'll tell you that.
No, and it scares me too. It might be Michael Obama, right? But I think that, which is funny.
I don't think it'll be her.
I don't think so either. Or him.
I think Obama is.
But
I think by this point, I think the Obama family, the Clinton family, and now the Biden family, they're trashed. I think
so
too, the
yeah.
regular American thinks that these families are complete trash. They came into the office not with a lot of money, and all of a sudden they're almost billionaires at this point. They're being controlled by a system that is way beyond what we can understand or see. They definitely support more communism rules. I think the majority of people can already see through the lens of the Obamas, the Bill Clintons, and just the Democrat far left that has kind of like blinded us through so much. And now it's like, okay, we see it. We see the connections. We see the history, and we see the different treatment for Trump versus somebody of that caliber on that side. So I think Newsom comes in great, but there's also a big track record with him, man. California is destroyed right now.
Oh, it's not a good track record at all.
Right
I
now.
don't think Newsom really has. I don't see them finding a candidate that's going to be better than Trump, though. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that, and what you just said, I didn't even know that information, that it's the earliest they've ever done a debate. That is what I think. I think that Biden is going to bomb. I think that Trump is going to own him tonight. And I really think that they're going to pull him as the candidate and try to get somebody else. Who that is, I have not figured that out yet. Nobody knows, right? We don't even know who Trump's vice president, VP.
He's going to be in the audience, or she. Tonight.
I think it's going to be Vivek. That's kind of my.
You think? I think it's going to be
Vivek
that
on the left.
No.
Ramaswamy.
Oh, you mean VP?
Yeah, VP.
I hope it's Vivek. I like Vivek. Oh, I like Tulsi Gabbard. I like the fact that she's a woman, military background.
She's a little controversial.
And but I like everything she has to say. I like what she told Kamala Harris on the debate, and I've seen her on the Joe Rogan podcast, and she her military mind is very smart. She wants peace for the world. She does not want to fight, but she's also like, we can't cross our arms and not do nothing. Like if we, like she's her mindset on war is like, let's not have any, but we gotta be the strongest, foundation in the world. We gotta make sure we control all the wars around the world. We are the leading, country for freedom. So here's what scares me. 2016, I think, in my opinion, Hillary has it in the bag. I really did. I did not see Trump coming at all. And Trump wins. I learned about Trump. I become a Trump fan somewhere around 2017, 2018. And then in 2020, I see Biden coming along, and I'm like, there's no way this guy's beating Trump.
There was no way.
There's no way. Like, if Hillary couldn't beat him, the first woman president ever with the track record she brought and everything she brought to the table in terms of the Democrat and the, Clinton and all of that, the name alone was so big for so many people. And she didn't beat Trump. Biden, I was like, there's no way. Like, it's just the way he sounded, everything. He was just not doing it. Yeah. And on the debate, Trump ate him alive. He did not do good in that debate.
No.
And he still won. So,
so
what am I saying with this? All right, this debate may be amazing for Trump. It doesn't matter. I think whatever strategy they're planning on the left, it's gonna end up, something's gonna happen where as Americans we need to open our eyes and make sure that our systems don't get rigged or occupied by other countries or other people that want to destroy us. Because right now, with everything that has happened with the border and everything that has already happened in the past with 2020, it's just an AI coming in too. Yeah. AI is one system that I have a feeling they're gonna be using AI in a lot of ways to overturn this election or do something crazy in this election that we've never seen before. And I think the American people were okay handling 2020. I feel like, you can kind of like poke the bear a little bit. But if we lose this one, it's gonna feel like a slap. It's gonna feel like I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't see anybody else but Trump winning. So it's just, it doesn't make any sense. If Trump loses this election, unless something crazy happens where, I don't know, something, because Biden's point, his angle on this whole debate is gonna be what? You're a person. You're a criminal.
A felon,
You're a felony. We can't have a felon. That's gonna be his whole angle the whole time. Is just talk about the felony and everything. Just make sure that people memorize that he's a felon and that we shouldn't vote for him.
Yeah.
And Trump is gonna bring up all the things with his son, all the things that he's done through this whole 4 years. He's gonna talk about his example in the past. There's no like losing. For Trump.
When's the last time they found cocaine in a White House?
There's no,
never.
there's just no losing for him. He should win easy.
So
But
here's the thing that could happen, Carlos. Here's what's scary, because if Biden is the candidate and he wins, I believe there is a real chance of an uprising, and I would be in support of it. I know that sounds crazy, right? Because we would know.
Uprising for the people that don't know.
I think people are going to have to take to the streets, is what I think. I think it will have to be like we've seen in Cuba and Venezuela and other countries, where people literally walk out of their homes, go into their downtowns, and lose their shit.
Was January 6th an uprising?
No.
What was January 6th?
Well, maybe.
What do you think
Actually,
it was?
yes, it was. It was an uprising.
But they turned that into...
Because of all the BS and the fake actors they had in there, the good people who went into the Capitol were not defacing the Capitol. They were not the ones with the fire extinguisher. They were not the ones hurting people.
So you see where it scares me here? Like
the plants.
Dude, the communists are perfect with this stuff.
They
already know what to say.
They've been doing it for the first century.
Exactly. As soon as we react in a way that might be positive, they will make some negative out of it and point the finger back at us for even starting that.
So here's the thing, though. If it's Biden, I could see the uprising, but, and I hate to even give them this idea, if they throw in another candidate, it will be much harder for people to say that this was a rigged election and a fake election. If they throw in a Newsom or somebody like that, people be like, well, you know, they voted for that guy because it's new breath of fresh air and it's somebody we'd never seen and we're tired of Trump and Biden. That narrative could work. But let me tell you about my VP pick real quick. My VP pick is James Vance. J.D. Vance, Republican senator from Ohio, just starting to get a lot of talk, a lot of quiet talk. Young, vibrant. He's from the Midwest. He comes from a lot of those swing states. He's very strong. Check him out. Put him on the screen. J.D. Vance, V-A-N-C-E. He, I think, would be the best, because you got to think, the VP that he picks is the most important VP pick in history. He will be the next nominee. He very well could be the next president, right? This guy, young, Republican, well-spoken, from the right area of the country, not from a heavy Republican or Democrat side. This is some real, you watch. This guy could be the one, you know?
Interesting.
And, you know, Gabbard could be a good pick because it's a woman, but they say that this guy touches a lot
Is
of
that the Puerto
angles.
Rican flag behind him?
It might be. Actually, it is.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's Puerto Rican.
No, but that means he supports the Puerto Rican people. But look at this.
Interesting. James David Vance is a venture capitalist, author, and politician serving as the junior United States Senator from Ohio since 2023. A member of the Republican Party, he came to prominence with his 2016 memoir, Hillbilly Elegy. I've never heard of this guy before. That's crazy.
I hadn't until a couple months ago.
I heard his name. I didn't know that he was in the VP running, but I guess, I mean...
Well, just look at him.
Oh, this is the guy that we're talking about.
Oh, you guys, he's the one that's been behind him.
Yeah.
Notice how he has been positioned behind Trump throughout the entire trial.
That is very interesting.
He was the face in every video.
That is very interesting.
Very interesting.
That could be the guy. Frank might be figuring it out. I like Byron Donalds, but I don't think Byron Donalds can run because he's from Florida too. I think they're both from Florida, so I don't think that they can run.
It's got to be somebody different. It's got to be.
You know what I do like? One thing that I saw from this presidential debate that I really enjoyed is the future of where the country could be. Because Vivek was a great option, in my opinion. Tulsi Gabbard is a great option. Now that you're talking about this guy, that's another great option. And the guy you just mentioned, the one that you just mentioned right now.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
No, the other one.
Byron Donalds.
Byron Donalds. I love Byron Donalds.
Me too,
and I love his background, too. He's open about all his issues and everything, and I've never seen a politician just straight up, I went through all these issues or whatever, and, you know, it changed me when I did this and whatever. Like, I saw his interview, and I was very impressed with him. But so many different names of candidates that, you know, can potentially run this country the right way. Compared to the other side, I mean, who was running on the Democrat side? I didn't even see anybody.
Who's running our country, bro?
Yeah.
A very sleepy guy.
So with this whole debate thing, we also had Kennedy come out and comment on the debate.
What did he say?
He said, President Biden and Trump do not want me on the debate stage, and CNN illegally agreed to their demand. said independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. My exclusion by Presidents Biden and Trump from the debate is undemocratic, un-American, and cowardly. What do you guys think about that?
You know, I don't know enough about it to know what they did to prevent him from going on. What I understood is he didn't qualify for it. I don't think it hurts to have another opinion on there. I mean, I think Kennedy's a good guy. I just hate listening to him the way he talks. It's like, what? I feel bad for the guy because I think he's awesome, but the way he talks is like,
yeah. I've listened to him. I've listened to a lot of his stuff. I got through the the listening part because that is the one negative that he has that I think people may just turn away right away from him just for that. But
it's hard.
But he does state a lot of really cool things. He talks a lot about his uncle, and everything that happened in that case. He talks about coming in and, completely breaking apart the CIA and the FBI and just redoing everything. Kind of like, some of the same thing that Trump says. Mm-hmm. I like how he talked about Trump and Biden. He did not offend them at any time. He did speak, about the things that he thinks that they both do wrong, but he's not offensive towards anybody. No. He's very, casual, normal. And the one thing that scares me a little bit about him being in the race is that some of the votes that could go to Trump might go to him because of it. And I don't know if that hurts Trump or Biden. I don't know exactly where it is if he takes votes. But I have met a few people, around my family and friends that don't like Trump. They don't like Biden, but they voted for Biden last time because they won't vote for Trump. And now I'm like, hey, we got 4 years evidence versus 4 years evidence, and we got two choices. And they're like, well, I'm going to vote for Kennedy because I'm not voting for Trump. And I'm like, come on. Like,
I've heard it both ways.
Really?
Does Kennedy pull from Trump or Biden? A lot of when I've watched CNN, they actually feel like he's going to pull from Biden a little bit more from Trump. But I think either way, he's going to pull from both. I'll just leave it at this with Kennedy. If Kennedy did get elected, I would not be scared for this country.
Yeah.
So I think if he was in there, he would pull some votes because a lot of people don't want the same 4 years either way, and they would maybe go with the fresh one. I think he would get a lot of votes.
I do like the independent party getting more votes, at least historically, to maybe break some records, maybe make a change that we could, we don't have to be on the Republican or the Democrat side. We could run independently as a liberal, whatever the heck you want to call yourself or whatever. Yeah. I think that's a good thing for the country,
What do you think, Brad?
I think so, but I don't think they'll win. And I think that, that's the sad reality of that, though, is that, I think that Trump wouldn't have been a full Republican if he were to, Trump could have ran as
You're
independent.
100%
but
right.
He's going to win, or he did win because he was a Republican, you know? And I think that is the big thing there. And you can see it right now with him not invited to the debate. Obviously, a lot of people support him, but not enough support him to get on there because there's something about it. I don't know what it is, but I think it's just the national support you get is that if you're not a Republican or Democrat, you're not going to get elected. It's never happened before, Right. I'm not saying that I don't want that to happen one day, right? But I don't think – I think that is why, though. I think that it's –
that's why I would like for something good to happen with Kennedy. Something at least, maybe some type of record breaking or something. That way people can at least feel like there's a chance. Instead
I would like Trump to give him a job with something, too, in the White House. That's the other thing. I think that, if Trump and him could come together, like I would like to see RFK endorse Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. And I think he will before the election, just like you said. But I would like to see him endorse Trump, and I think that'll help.
I think there's two paths for the independent party to become a real legitimate party in America. One, they need to be elected vice president, and I think this was an opportunity. If he had him as his VP, I think that would have been a phenomenal pick, right? Yeah. You could bring a lot of that other side, and then he could run as an independent after Trump. It would actually make sense. Or two, a sitting president switches parties. Think about if Trump wins, and then a year in, he goes, you know what? I'm going to be part of the independent party from now on. Think about that angle. Yeah. Then he brings all the good Republicans to the MAGA Republicans to the independent party and leaves the rhinos in the dust.
That's a good point right there.
Only two paths, because Brad, you're 100% right. Zero chance of a third-party candidate ever winning because of the strength of the Republican and Democrat in the convention and all that.
Yeah.
So,
all right, well, we got moderators. Here they are. What do you guys think about this personalities? I think the names is Jake Tapper and Dana Bash.
They look fair and balanced. I mean, Brad, you take it. You take this one.
I don't know. I mean, I think that.
Do you guys know them? Have you seen them before?
I haven't. I don't know. Have you guys?
All right, so I've watched Tapper. Right,
I've watched Tapper before. He seems okay.
He's not as total. He's not like Rachel Maddow. You know, let's put it like that. But they're both, very skewed left.
Yeah.
But for journalistic integrity, you would think that they would do. I actually think the format of this debate allows them to have more integrity because they're not in charge of the, hey guys, cut it off. Hey guys, do this. They really are not going to have to moderate so much.
Yeah, they're just asking questions pretty much.
Right?
So
the questions,
like,
how are the
they're
questions?
like podcast hosts, but then they can't really,
they can't stop somebody or allow more time or because, whatever happened, like the Chris Wallace one and all that, I mean, it just walked all over the moderators. So, I don't know, Carlos. I am more disappointed that we only have 2 scheduled debates and they're both scheduled by the left-wing media side. It's like, how is that?
Yeah, how does that happen?
I have no idea. Like, they need to schedule a 3rd debate.
More money?
More money. You think that's what it is?
I think maybe they bought, they told Fox, shut up, and here you go. Oh, wow. I don't know.
You know what I think it was? I think it was the Biden camp. That's the only way he would agree to debate.
I think that was it. 100%.
I think he said, well, I'll debate, but only with these 2.
Yeah, and Biden was trying to act all tough. He's out there. He's like, let's go, pal. Like,
take you behind the barn. Rough you up.
Well, I think we're gonna leave it right there with the debate, guys. So make sure you check it out tonight. We'll definitely be talking about this in the next episode, and the country is gonna be talking about it. So make sure to check it out tonight and vote. What's the right
vote
word?
For Trump?
Well, vote for truth. How about that? Look for the truth and try to vote for the best truth, in my opinion.
I like that.
All right. So why do we have taxes, Frank? Do you know?
Wow.
If we're going to keep printing
I'm sorry
money.
to interrupt you. But let me.
Why do we have taxes at all?
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but let me put this guy.
Put him on.
I forgot his name. Do you know his name, Brad?
I don't know who that is. No.
Brad.
That's Brad in 20 years.
I forgot his name, but I think he's a senator of a state, and he is very, very smart every time he gets up and opens his mouth. Let's check out what he said.
Printing money. Why do we have taxes at all? I've asked that question in the Budget Committee. Nobody can answer it. Like, if we're literally not going to actually adhere to a budget, balance the budget, constrain spending, and do the responsible thing, which we never do, why on earth would we not just get rid of taxes? Right? If you're going to spend almost twice as much as you take in, which we're getting dangerously close to, if you take in $4 trillion and you're spending $3 trillion more than that, I don't know what the numbers are, but why not just print the $7 trillion? I mean, it's a genuine question. Oh, but that would be irresponsible. Why? I mean, we all know why. Because we're living a fiction. We're living like this is something that isn't going to blow up on us. It is.
What do you think about that, Money Man?
I love his angle. I think that's awesome. I mean, he literally is making it very simple. Like if we're already spending twice as much and we're already printing money for the other half, what's the purpose? Yeah. What are we doing? He's 100% right. But to answer the question, why do we have taxes? We have to go back to when taxes became a thing. And I'm
Roman times?
Well, yeah, Roman times. Okay. Yeah, but for United States, when did it happen? And my history is not perfect on this. I believe it was Eisenhower, but we prior to the U.S. citizenry being taxed and the IRS being formed, all of the money from the U.S. government came from import tariffs. Right? We used to charge other countries taxes to bring their goods and sell them to Americans. That is how we funded most of our government programs, and our government was way smaller. And then there was this push to people of they what is they called it? There was a name for it, like an anti-tariff thing. Somebody like that too. Thank you very much. There was an anti-tariff thing that came out that said tariffs are bad. I think it had something to do with like world trade or something like that. And they're like, oh, you don't want to pay tariffs. This is really bad. You don't want to be charging. It's like the free trade agreement. I think that's what it was. And they're like, this is not fair to be charging people. We want free trade. We want people to be able to bring things in here. It's better for the world economy and stuff. So what they said was, so instead, we're going to just tax our own people. So the other countries don't have to freaking pay. We're going to tax our own people. That is how taxes started in America. And we were duped into it because they were saying it's a good thing to get rid of tariffs. But in the beginning, taxes were very small.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
And look at it now. And
it was basically for policing, education. It was some basic 3 or 4 things.
Those were
and now the taxes are used to put up LGBT flags in the city.
They're used to cut peepees off.
Yeah.
Like, do you know? I had a buddy who's a major in the Army right now, and him and I text all the time. And he's an active major. I can't say his name, but he was telling me stuff. He goes, "Hey Frank, your tax dollars are going to cut off soldiers' peepees," and he was like being serious, but he's like, they literally will fund a $50,000 to $100,000 operation if you're a soldier and you go to the military and say, "I want to have a sex change," and they will fund it, which means we are paying for soldiers' sex changes.
We, the people?
We, the people.
Wow.
So, where's our tax dollars going? We have no effing clue.
This is not good. This is not good. We got to do something. We got to do something about this stuff. This is not okay, especially when they're putting it in front of our children's faces. Okay, so now we got, so here's what I love about that video. So he doesn't want to keep printing money, but as good Americans, you try, or let's just say, let's take it to an individual. I may make my mistakes with my debt or whatever, but eventually I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to pay my credit cards, and I'm going to make sure my debt is good so I can buy a house and do the good things. But then all of a sudden I have, I don't know, a son or a nephew that just grabs my credit and destroys it. That's kind of like what he's saying. It's like, why are we going to keep working on fixing this if you guys are just going to keep printing more money? If we can just print more money, then why are we doing all of this? It's a waste of time, resources. Let's just print more money, which at the end is gonna be the end of us. And I love how he puts it that way, so that we can realize that the viewers that are not understanding how the economy of this country works realize that, well, where does the money come from, and what are we gonna end up doing if we just keep spending it? Because it's just gonna be the end of us. The dollar,
I love his video.
The dollar is the number one coin in the world right now.
Yep.
So, the moment that doesn't happen and the yen takes over, we're going to have a problem. It's going to be a big war.
You're exactly right. Right. Well, then again, you don't want to kill the people you want to pay you back. That comes from drug dealing days. It's like, when they owe you money, you can't just kill them. Yeah. You ain't going to ever get your money.
Anything you want to say on that, Brad?
I just agree with Frank.
Okay.
I don't want to go too deep into that.
All right. So do you guys want to know how to get into the Queer Fat Club?
I'm going to guess I have to start by being fat.
Yeah. Check this out.
Queer Fat Club.
I'm queer and fat.
Okay, thank you for joining. We're just introducing ourselves at the moment.
Okay.
Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Joe?
Yeah, my name's Joe. I go by he, they, and I identify as 275 pounds.
Identifies as 275.
Okay.
I feel like Jay's kind of making fun of me, though. I know it's kind of a shock. I know, kind of a new thing.
I'm just,
Do what?
I said I apologize.
Oh, no, you're good.
Are you comfortable leaving the group at the moment?
Why?
I'm not understanding why you're joining the group.
This is the queer and fat group now?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I came here for.
Okay. And you said you identify as fat?
Yeah.
Okay. This is just for fat-bodied people.
Yeah, I understand. I identify as a fat-bodied person.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Dude, how crazy is
Where
that?
is that from?
This guy he got jokes.
What are you Googling at night?
I don't know. My algorithm just really loves to put funny stuff in front of my face. I don't even Google anything. It just comes to me directly.
That's funny.
That shit is funny.
Dude, it's so crazy using your own, your own math, your own problems against you. I just love it. It's the perfect
I
answer.
identify as 275 pounds.
That's funny.
Oh, God.
All right. So last one we got here, Florida cities. Let's get back into real estate. Florida cities cutting down prices. So on this report, we got, let's see here, seller. All right. So we got Tampa, Florida, with a rise on interest rates and empty homes on the market. Home sellers across the country are feeling the pressure to reduce prices to attract buyers. According to Realtor.com, numbers of homes rose to 34.2% this past May and spent an average of 44 days on market. So, yeah, if you compare it to last year and the year before and the year before that, the last 3 years were definitely a lot higher volume, more movement in real estate.
Yeah.
I think we got more houses on the market for sure, but I think June may be a little bit different than what this report says, because obviously this comes out of a month after it happens.
Well, the last stat that I saw, it was a stat from Mahar and Associates on my radio show, and she showed that in Hillsborough County, the median sale price went up by 7.6% over the last year, and in Pinellas, it was like something like 9%.
I believe that, man. I don't know when. I don't know what cities they're including here in terms of the Tampa Bay area.
I disagree.
Because it's based on my volume and how busy I am, this is this is challenging.
Brad, are you seeing that? Are you seeing house prices getting cut? I'm not.
Not really. I mean, I'm seeing, you can negotiate a little bit to get stuff under contract, but I'm not seeing like that big of a difference, really. No. I mean,
this is from Nathaniel Rodriguez from Florida Real Estate, Florida Realtor News.
Nathaniel, I believe you are incorrect. I don't think he's right. I really don't. I don't know where he's getting the stats from.
He's getting it from Realtor.com. Realtor.com listed 3 cities that saw considerable drops in prices. That's Tampa, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, and Charlotte, North Carolina, which is,
Only thing I would say is that it's just if listings aren't priced right, like if people are overpricing their listings,
right,
then they're having to lower the price to get it sold, and that could be what they're doing.
Okay, so that's a great point. So if
I've experienced that actually. For sure.
But let's decipher this stat then.
Yeah.
If the stat shows that the actual sales prices went up by 7 to 8%, but this says that 28.6% of homes in Tampa saw price reductions, it doesn't actually mean that the sales prices went down. They're still up, but maybe to your point, people were listing a little too high, and they're bringing it down to reality. But the real stat is home sale prices are up.
Yeah. Here's a couple of things that I am experiencing. So I definitely am not experiencing less volume in my market at all. There's buyers out there. People are still looking. I'm experiencing a couple of things. One, insurance rates have gone up a lot, especially for flood-zone homes. In some areas, they have doubled what they were since the last hurricane. That is affecting some home prices for sure because the monthly payment is a lot more.
Yep.
So if only cash people can buy it, you're gonna have to accept the lower monthly payment on that. Besides that, we have the other thing that I'm experiencing is exactly what you said, Brad, where homeowners are asking for a lot more than what they actually should be getting for the house. So
yeah,
other than that, I don't know that this report is true. If the houses are coming down on prices because they're priced wrong, at the end of the day, that's not the market crashing. That's the realtors not doing their job.
Thank you, Carlos. You nailed it. And by the way, if you need a good realtor, I know a guy named Carlos Rojas who can take great care of you, find you the right house at the right price. He uses Greenleaf Title. And of course, you want to go to contactfrankthebank.com.
That's right, everybody. This will conclude our episode. Anything else you guys want to say?
You want to check out your listing? Or you have your video up there for your listing?
Oh, yeah.
So we did an awesome open house.
There's no party
there.
This house
and definitely a party house.
Yeah,
party house.
Looks like you guys were partying in the house.
We were playing pool, having a good time.
Brad, thank you for the reminder. I really appreciate it.
I want to market your listing, man. I want to help you get that thing sold.
Yeah.
And my friend Michael from Current Creative made an awesome video for Carlos there, and it looks like a cool party type house, man. That I think would be good for a lot of different people, but it's definitely an interesting house. So let's show it off.
Yeah, the open house went great, by the way. There are talks right now to get this under contract. I still don't have an offer, so bring me an offer. And Mike was the name of the guy?
Yeah, Michael, Current Creative.
Michael, he did such an amazing job. Check this video out.
There's no party this house can't handle.
Oh, Emilio.
Yep. Yeah, man, he was there.
This is a 5-bedroom and multiple entertainment spaces. There is plenty of room for all of your contacts.
You need a Guyabera. Ooh, spacious.
Yeah, right there in town and country, local.
What is this?
If you like what you see, give me a call today for a private show.
5 bedrooms?
Yep.
So, yeah. I mean,
all right, guys.
Let's do it.
You wanted to say something else?
No, let's make it a great day and stay positive, guys.
Make it a great day. Stay positive. We the People Real Estate Podcast, we are out. Thank you, guys.